most of you on here. It's been a while since I last talked to you. First, I'll talk about my fears, because I guess that's what we're talking about today. My fear was actually, it's happened before COVID. I actually had, give me a moment. In November, I actually had a stroke. So in my 40s, I had a stroke, and it came out of nowhere, but it caused me to lose my hearing. So I can hear out of my right ear, I cannot hear out of my left ear. It makes it difficult to actually talk to you today, because I have a bad case of tinnitus. So what that is, it's loud ringing in the ear, so I hear that more so than I hear voices. So it makes it difficult to tell how loud I'm talking, but also to be able to hear everyone as well. But I am getting better. I guess my fear is that I may not get my strength back the way that I did before, because I can handle hearing and I'm getting used to that, but I'm worried that at this point, the most that I can lift is pretty much my cat. So I can lift my cats, but that's the most strength that I have to be able to lift at this moment. So yeah, I guess my fear would be health-wise, and I still go for hyperbaric treatment. So every day I do go into a medical center, and going into a medical center now with COVID, it's a little uneasy, but everyone keeps their distance, and it's they schedule everyone at different times so that you are in there with very few people at a time. So yeah, I am slowly getting through that. But on a positive note, it's been beautiful weather. So yes, Marge, I have been at the cottage. Our cottages are quite close to each other, Marge and I. So yes, we both enjoy watching the loons. We have lots of ducks. We have 4 moms with baby ducks right now that are living right by our cottage. We actually have a bear and 2 cubs. On the weekend, I had my nieces at the cottage this past weekend, and we saw a beaver actually chop down with his teeth 2 trees, which I've never seen before, and I've never been that close to a beaver before. And I was actually in the water, and a beaver swam within 4 feet of me. So it was a little uneasy, but also really cool at the same time. I've never been that close to a beaver, and my nieces had never seen a beaver that close either. So we were right up to it while it was chopping down trees, which isn't necessarily a great thing to have trees coming down on your property, but also at the same time, it was neat to see. Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about insurance. Again, just to let you know, I am an insurance broker. So I've been a broker for the past 19 years. I've been with Brokers Trust Insurance Group, that's my actual brokerage, for almost 10 years. In September, it'll be 10 years I've been there. I can't believe it's been that long. As a broker, what I do is I represent multiple insurance companies and able to provide multiple quotes to my clients. So there's a difference between an agent and a broker. An agent represents one company and can give you one quote, whereas a broker represents multiple companies and can give you options for quotes. So it just allows me to give my clients options, better options, and I'm that go-between between the insurance company as well as my client. COVID, I'm going to bring it back to COVID because the insurance industry has been affected because of COVID. So for the most part, well, you may have seen the past few months on TV or on the radio or on the internet or in the news that insurance companies were helping out their clients when it came to COVID. And for the most part, insurance companies did that. They either did that by sending out refund checks to their clients or allowing temporary COVID discounts if usage has changed, if the usage of your vehicle, so if someone is no longer working or they're now working from home instead of driving to work, we were able to give them a discount. And then they also supported changes, for example, people that are using their vehicle for delivery use. Whereas normally you would have to call your insurance company and you would be rated for delivering a product or food or whatever that is. You'd be rated on your insurance company, and insurance companies weren't doing that. They were also able to defer payments and waive NSF fees. So there was a lot of different ways that insurance companies tried to help out clients during COVID. They also allowed, when it came to home insurance, they allowed business usage on the home policy without having to call your insurance company and say, okay, now I'm making handmade masks and I'm selling masks online. Normally, typically, you'd have to call your insurance company and you'd have to let them know that you're now using your home for business use. But insurance companies were being very lenient and not saying, we're going to cover the liability regardless of whether or not a client has called us or not. And personally, what I did is that at our brokerage, we sent out notices to each of our clients by email, and people that we didn't have email for, we sent out letters to let them know what they can do to help lower their insurance. And for those companies, there were some companies where you actually had to confirm with the client of whether or not they would get that discount. I would call the client and let them know, ask them, has your usage changed? Just so that I can add that discount for them so that they didn't miss out on those discounts. Now that business is starting to open up, so we're now in stage 2, we're almost going to be in stage 3. Those changes of usage, so if you were previously if you hadn't called your insurance company and you're doing deliveries, you now need to make sure that you call your insurance company and let them know that you're using your vehicle for deliveries. Or if you have a home-based business now, you need to make sure your insurance company knows about that home-based business, because they're not going to be so lenient if a claim occurs and you haven't let them know. They were before, but now that we've got to that stage 2, going into stage 3, it's really important that insurance companies know what you're using your home, your business, your auto, the actual usages. So before COVID came, we were actually in a hard market. And what that means in insurance terms is that with a hard market, it means there's stress on the insurance market. So when there's stress on the insurance company, it means that they have had high claims payout. So that's due to personal injuries. There's been a high rate of personal injury claims. Cost to fix vehicles has definitely increased, and that's due to a lot of that change has resulted because of technology. So now we have cameras, we have sensors in our vehicles. The cost of parts has increased. We've also had catastrophic weather, so that's caused increases when it comes to your property insurance, when it comes to winds, heavy winds, windstorms, heavy rains causing flooding, sewage backup in properties, and then also location and density of houses. So our population is growing, and as our population grows and more homes are being built, they're not necessarily being built in places that houses should be built. So we have a lot of flooding, a lot of density, nowhere for that water to flow. And what happens is it flows into your house and causes extra claims to occur. And the insurance company has to pay out these claims. So as costs increase, then profits decrease for insurance companies. And that causes the insurance company to go into a hard market. And as a result of COVID, then it meant that temporarily discounts were being applied to the auto insurance, and it was only being applied to the auto insurance because the auto insurance industry started to have less claims. So as there's less claims, they are actually making some money, but again, that's only temporary. We're starting to get back to work now. We're driving the vehicles more often. We actually have more claims occurring on the auto policy, on the auto portion. When it comes to home policies, claims are still happening. When it comes to business, claims are still happening. Regardless of whether or not that business is operating or not, they can still sustain claims just as much as when there is actually operations in that business. So even the Intax Insurance CEO has predicted that the hard market is actually here for the next 18 months to 2 years. So what that means is that we are expecting rates to actually increase a significant increase over the next year and a half to 2 years, which is crazy because a lot of people are saying our rates are already too high as it is. And if rates are already too high, how are they going to go up even more? But we do expect rates to go up. We expect commercial rates to go up at least 10% every year. We expect auto and home insurance to follow that same trend. Now, if a second or third wave occurs with COVID, then we could see a slight decrease in insurance or a stop at rate increases for a period of time and discounts being applied yet again. But again, that's only going to be a temporary discount, just like it was a temporary discount a few months ago. So most of you, if you have a vehicle, you should have seen some sort of discount on your insurance. If you haven't, then I would suggest that you think about what insurance company you're with and see if you are getting rate increases at your next renewal. Would you think about if that insurance company has done everything that they could for you? If your broker, if you're working with a broker, have they called you? Have they sent you out any notices? Have they tried to help you through COVID at all or give you those extra discounts? And if they have, then great. I think that you're probably with a great company or a great broker. If you haven't, then I'd urge you, call around, try to get another rate, try to get another insurance company. See if that insurance company isn't working for you, then there are insurance companies that are definitely working for their clients and with their clients and trying to help out their clients, even though they are in a hard market and even though profits are very low. Yeah, I guess if you have any questions, then I can answer any questions for you.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you so much, Christine, for telling your story. And also for giving us some insights into insurance. We haven't really, insurance is like, okay, is that a topic we want to talk about? But it is, and we need to. And I appreciate your insights. Can you guys just put up your hands if you have any questions? Anybody have any questions for Christine? Use this opportunity. Sherry.
Thank you so much, Christine. That was amazing. And thank you for all the good help you've given me over the years. My question is, will you please change your profile on Facebook, please, so I can refer people to you? Like the big sister I am, she doesn't listen to me. Have you seen her Facebook profile picture? Please?
So Sherry doesn't like my Facebook profile picture because I'm a witch. So I was actually performing in a kid's performance and I was dressed up as a witch and that's my profile picture.
A green witch.
A green witch, yes.
A green witch, yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions from anybody? Okay, we're not all thinking about Chris. I'm hearing seeing positive comments on the chat line, but all of us are sort of, this insurance thing.
Did anyone receive a discount during COVID on their auto insurance? Sherry? Anyone else? Okay, Wayne, good.
Okay.
I did.
Share, Hazel, perfect.
Yeah.
So some of you did, which is great.
I did because of you. I did because of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shashir, you had a question. You're on mute, Shashir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Christine.
Yes.
It's so good to see you, and I'm very sorry about your health concerns. If there's anything that I can help you with in terms of heart and stroke resources, please reach out anytime.
Thank you very much.
Secondly, your talk was wonderful. It gave us an insight as to what's happening in the insurance industry. From what I understand from you, it's not the worst yet. The worst is yet to come. And seeing all the changes that are happening globally in terms of the COVID crisis, the number of times the insurance companies are going to be challenged by the fact that they are no longer covering COVID as part of their liability is going to probably result in long legals, and consequently, there's greater chance of us paying higher rates in the near future than lower.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So A lot of insurance companies currently are being sued by, there's class action lawsuits against insurance companies to pay out because of COVID-related claims. And COVID-related claims currently are excluded on pretty much, there is a couple insurance companies and a couple forms of policies within those companies that actually don't have that exclusion on them. So they are getting paid out, but for the most part, most claims are excluded. So if a business is out of business and they're not able to operate, people would think, oh, I can use my business interruption insurance, but they cannot use that. So they are out of that money. And every time that an insurance company has to go to court and they have to fight, that's costing the insurance company money. Just like people are going, they go to a personal injury lawyer, that costs the insurance company extra money, which ends up costing everyone money because our insurance is actually pooled. So people say, I've never had a claim, I have an old vehicle. It doesn't matter if you have an old vehicle. An old vehicle actually has a worse accident benefit rating because an older vehicle, you're more likely to get hurt in. Whereas a newer vehicle, you have automatic braking. I know I have a new vehicle and it has automatic braking. If I go out of my lane, it automatically turns me back into my lane. So our newer vehicles have a lot more safety features on them than the older vehicles. And even if you haven't had a claim, you are pooled with everyone. So the more claims are paid out, the more everyone pays when it comes to insurance.
Thank you. Shashir?
Yes, can I ask you a follow-up question, Christine?
Absolutely.
The fact that the insurance companies are going to be facing huge legals coming through in the next couple of years, I'm sure there are good companies that have got the financials to back them up, and there are others who may not be as strong.
Yep.
There's probably a degree of knowledge that you as a broker would have as to which companies to stay away from. Would you be able to share any of those insights?
Well, you are always welcome to call me, and I can always give you my personal opinion upon insurance of what insurance companies have actually helped their clients more than others, and what financial. Every insurance company has financials, and they have to post those financials. And I do know what insurance companies have better financials than other companies that may not be able to pay out claims as well as others. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would like to ask, Kadambi, can you go ahead and then I have a question.
No, but mine is not a question for Christine, but I really appreciate for the excellent presentation, giving useful information to all the people. Some of them I didn't know, and she did a great job. I want to thank her. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. My question for you, Christine, is, we're considering as a CTC executive when to come back and have meetings. And is there some insurance issues? Like say things look good and we start back meeting, in the November, whenever, and somebody does get contracts COVID-19 because of our meeting, they can trace it back. Is there an insurance issue there? Like I'm also thinking for people like Hugh and Susan for the churches, are they also, is there a risk? Is it something that we need to think about?
That is something that we really don't know how that answer is going to end up being in the end, because there's a lot of lawsuits that are happening right now, and it's a matter of how they end up getting settled in the end, okay, to whether or not there is a risk or not. Right now on insurance policies, I can tell you even on your current policy, there would not be coverage for COVID-related claims. People can try to sue, but they're not at this moment going to get paid out by an insurance company. In the future, we may see that there's going to be a COVID or COVID-related coverage that may be able to be purchased, perhaps. We don't know yet how that's going to happen, but right now, someone can try to sue, but at the moment, companies and individuals are not being paid out at the moment. But again, that can change as time goes on. So.
Okay, no, thank you. I appreciate that, because it's a question. How is this going to work in the future? If I'm looking at so many of us who want to get back to different.
Well, and a lot of businesses are also going to be going online more so than they were before. So it's going to become even more important to have cyber insurance. So Heather was talking about her, worry about cyber and, cyber risk, and whether or not data is going to be taken, anyone that has an online business or operating online or an app is going to have to worry about that, because as we have more and more businesses going that direction, we already have a lot of businesses online as well as it is, but now I know even in the insurance industry, all of our insurance companies, there's not one of our insurance companies right now that are actually operating in office. Everyone is working from home. So everyone has access at their house to the information that is on the system. So my partner always laughs of how long it takes me to get into my computer, because I have 3 different passwords just to be able to get into my computer, not only just to turn on my computer, but then I have to get into another portion of my computer to be able to get into your actual information for the client. So that's just our way of trying to protect your information. But there are hackers out there that they can hack they can hack a bank system, let alone an insurance company system. So yes, it's still a risk, but we have, even as a business, you have to be very diligent to make sure you do have everything that you can in place to try to prevent claims from occurring. Because we also have a law in Canada that if you are hacked, you have to let everyone on, like in your business or everyone that you had a record of that was affected by that hack, you have to let them know. So it can cost a lot of money to send a registered letter, and it can't just be a regular letter. It can't just be a phone call. It legally has to be a registered letter to every single client of yours if you are hacked. So that is a legal cost that every company in in Canada has to do if you are hacked.
Whoa. Okay, thank you for that. I had no idea. Any other questions from anybody here? Any other comments and such? Okay.
Just want to wish.
And you're always welcome to call me, ask me any questions.
I will send your contact information. So yes, including your phone number. So thank you again so much, Christine, for doing this. We wish you well
Thank you.
for your health and everything else. Thank you for sharing.
I am getting a lot better. So at the beginning, when this first happened in November, I was actually only able to stay up for a couple hours at a time, and then my body would automatically shut down, which seems crazy, but that's exactly what would happen. So now I can actually stay up all day and actually make it through it and make it through a proper work day as well, which especially during this time, it's so busy when it comes to insurance that it's important for me to be able to work, and it's important, just to be able to help my clients. So.
Very good. Thank you, Christine. Okay, so thank you, everyone. And I'm looking forward to